Good morning, and let's see if we can be third time lucky. Although luck isn't a Christian word, the closest word we have is providence. My name is Norman Lind, and I have been invited to do this church service segment. I attended Feilding Agricultural High School from 1960 to 1962, and along with my twin brother Stanley, we were the first trade boys allowed to sit and pass school certificate. This was then groundbreaking, and the Feilding Agricultural High School led the way. We both undertook carpentry apprenticeships with Feilding builders. We both sat and passed advanced trade certificate in our third year and became the first in New Zealand to do this while still apprentices. In 1974, I attended Christchurch Teachers College. Shirley and I sold up everything we had in Feilding, as there was to be no job here on the completion of the course. Imagine my surprise when I learnt that Mr. Hughes was retiring early and that the assistant woodwork job would be mine. Little thought was given that I would spend the next 32 years here, giving back to my old school. Not luck, but providence. I became a dean, then head dean, and then head of technology. I retired in 2006. Well, enough about me. While a pupil, we had an assembly every morning with a hymn, a Bible reading and a prayer. Through these and the occasional comments, we were encouraged to do our best and to become worthy citizens. My topic this morning is being blessed. Some think that blessed is having the best of everything. Some think it's being wealthy, whether money or in land. And some think it's having a top job. I prefer being satisfied, at peace, joy, and helping others. Let's read what David said in 1 Psalm verses 1 to 3, and I'm reading from the New King James Version. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the path of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bring forth its fruit in its season, whose leaf also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. The instruction from these 3 verses gives us 5 P's about the godly man. The first P is his purity. Live right before God and man. Jesus said, yield unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. For us, it's don't push the boundaries or look for trouble. And remember, bad habits are usually hard to break. The second P is his progress. Your school report was a progress report. It usually included comments like, could be doing better, is trying, which could mean 2 things, at the right level. Or Mr. Scott's favourite comment was, will do well if they follow my study plan, but when asked, Mr. Scott never told us what his study plan was. Progress can be measured if we set goals and move forward following our plans. Detours don't help, and 2 steps forward and 1 step backward are not good options. Consistency is the key here. The third P is piety. This means devotion, dedication, and respect. God wants to be number 1 in our lives. Abraham was told by God to obey him and the blessings would follow. The 10 Commandments are another good example. The first 4 are about our relationship with God, and the last 6 are about our relationship with each other. The 4th P is his position. Having good goals is great, but attaining them is even more important. This is where theory and practice meet and sometimes clash. Later in my teaching, I got a degree to the surprise of others by proving what I had done, not by having high ideals that I would struggle to live up to. Goals that help us and encourage others are very satisfying. And the last P is his prosperity. In this context, it is not the prosperity gospel that is preached by some groups. Give to the church or leadership and God will bless you. This prosperity is a peace and satisfaction in this life and in the next. I have, I care, I share. It is never wealth at the expense of others. Well, how are you going? What would your progress report look like? My main goal is to hear Jesus say, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant, enter into my rest." Giving is always a blessing to the giver and to the receiver. May God continue to bless us all. Amen.